it was a dream, not only for me, but for the Tunisian youth. Uh, for us, 2011 was like a big moment. Uh, we had many plans for the future, discussions, how we can improve our situation in Tunisia, how democracy could be like a source of prosperity in Tunisia, enhancing the situation, like social and economic situation in Tunisia. So it means a lot, not only for me, again, for the whole generation, also now for my kids. For me, I'm fighting for democracy, not only now for me, but for a better future for my kids. I think at least I'm gonna talk about the MENA region. I feel like they keep we keep hearing that democracy doesn't go with Islam or doesn't go with the Arab and Islamic culture. And I don't believe in this. I believe like we are human, whether whatever your religion or your nationality or your race. And I don't believe that authoritarianism or repression is a destiny for the people in the MENA region. It's important. We have everything. I mean, we have resources to have really prosperity in the MENA region. I feel like countries like Tunisia or Lebanon, if they manage to implement and establish democracy, it could be a very good example for the whole region, so they can see that democracy can bring wealth, can allow people to thrive, to enjoy themselves, to exercise freedoms. And I feel like after 7th October, it's more important to advocate and to push for democracy because democracy also can bring peace to the whole region. It was very symbolic because right after the coup in 2021, one of the first laws was the cybercrime decree back in 2022. And it has been weaponized and used against individuals, not only politicians or journalists or lawyers, but even simple citizens for exercising their right to freedom of expression. And the common technique in the region is like to include provisions related to expression and content using vague and broad terms, so they allow authorities to have whatever interpretation they want, and then they can prosecute people for any content that deemed by the authority hostile or criticizing the authorities in Tunisia. And we have seen right now that the most used provision in Tunisia when it comes to freedom of expression, it's Article 24 from the Cybercrime Decree. And step by step, we start feeling also a climate of fear in the Tunisian society, and people are now avoiding, whether online or offline, avoiding expressing themselves. There is a climate of fear in Tunisia because of the cybercrime decree. We are talking about sanction of 5 to 10 years of prison just for publishing content online, and it has impact on the wider society, but particularly on journalism on a different level. So, first of all, now we don't have any more political show, or it's like getting less and less compared to before 2021. And journalists and media outlet are trying now to avoid any political show because it might trigger sort of like prosecution against them. Also, investigative journalism is suffering. So also we don't see any more investigative stories, and even like on a daily basis, like the normal work of a journalist, whether on culture or sport, they are struggling to find source because people now they don't want to give interview to journalists, fearing that they can be prosecuted based on what they say. Yeah, so basically, journalism maybe is the first victim of this sort, like this cybercrime law in Tunisia. So the Tunisian civil society is trying to push back against the cybercrime. through different means and tools. So online, like speaking online, uh, again, not as much as before, but still we have people uh, outspoken. They speak against this cybercrime legislation. Second point, there are some more organized effort led by the Tunisian Journalist Association, because again, journalism is one of the first victim of this legislation. So basically, they prepared the law proposal to amend the cybercrime decree and to abrogate Article 24, which is like the main provision used to prosecute people based on what they say. And they work with like 30% of the Tunisian MPs. They managed to convince them with the necessity to abrogate the cybercrime decree. And now the next step is to participate in the hearing session at the parliament to try to mobilize, also using media outlet and like other journalists to convince like the wider public opinion that it's very important for Tunisian, not only like for politician or for the elite, but even for the whole society, to abrogate this Article 24 and to allow people to express themselves in a free manner. Because without hope, then we die, you know. Life is hope, of course. And again, I don't believe that repression is a destiny for the Tunisian people. At some point, we'll manage to have our own democracy. It takes time. It's a process. We need to work on to raise awareness among the society. We need to work with people. We need to convince people that it's very important that democracy is the solution. Repression is not solution. And even when it comes to distribution of wealth, when it comes to expressing yourself, developing, etc., etc., democracy is the solution. So I believe maybe right now I don't see it in the near future, but I believe at some point we will reach a point that we will have democracy in Tunisia. So in 2011, I was student. I was studying master like in public law in Tunisia, and it started on December 17th, 2010, and like it was the whole movement of students, lawyers. We were like on street protesting, and at that moment, we were not expecting that the regime will collapse and the dictator will escape. Just like it was a way to protest and to ask for more freedoms. But then, 14th of January 2011, the dictator flee the country, and for us was like a big achievement. And again, at some point in January, February 2011, the whole discussion was about how to make Tunisia the Switzerland of the Arab. Yeah.